What's up, family? Hey, I want to jump on here. We've been having a conversation the last few days about crystals and gemstones. Um, Today, we're going to talk about another one of my favorite um, crystals. Before we get into that, um, in the Bible, stay with me. We're going to go somewhere. I promise you that. In the Bible, Jesus was talking to his disciples, and Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do the people say that I am?" And the disciples said all kinds of stuff of who the people thought Jesus was. Jesus then asked them, "Who do you say that I am?" People said, the disciples said what they had to say. Stay with me. That's crucial. And what do I mean that's crucial? Because the reality is, people are going to have an opinion of who you are. Whether they know you or not, people are always going to have an opinion of who they think you are and what they think you're about. And it is what it is. Stop wasting your time trying to prove to people who you are. Stop wasting your time trying to convince people that you're not this demon that they have you portrayed as. Okay? Stay with me. And so, when I look at crystals, when I look at gemstones, you know, I often remember that little segment of the Bible. Everybody has their opinion, everybody has their belief on what these crystals and what these gemstones and stuff are. Man, I have family members, oh, that's witchcraft, that's this, that's devil stuff, da 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 da. And yet they're rocking diamonds, yet they're rocking gold, you know what I mean? Yet they got on pearls, you know, all this other stupid stuff, you know? And I've gotten to the point, man, it is what it is. I don't have time to sit there and entertain foolishness. You know what I mean? If you want to know, I'm more than willing to help share with you what I've learned, you know, what I've come into the understanding of. You know what I mean? But just having a conversation, just get into a debate over your ignorant opinion or, you know what I mean, their ignorant opinions of gemstones and crystals and all this other stuff. Man, I don't have time for that foolishness. I don't have time for that foolishness. And to each their own, you know what I mean? And so, one of my favorite crystals and gemstones is Lapis Lazuli. Lapis Lazuli. Man. And it's weird because, again, I mentioned before, a lot of crystals been mentioned in the Bible, you know, and people say that these are demonic and they're witchcraft and blah, blah, blah. And yet, their Bible talks about them. You know what I mean? Man, it's in the Old Testament. The high priest wore crystals and gemstones, you know. The Bible is meant, I mean, heaven's mentioned to have things of that nature. You know what I mean? And so it's like, but again, people don't read. People just go by what they hear other people talking and they just keep regurgitating the same foolishness. And that's why, again, I use that little segment as far as Jesus talking to his disciples. Who do the people say that I am? Who do you say that I am? What does that got to do with crystals? Because I use that same thing with crystals. Everybody else has their opinion on or their beliefs on what crystals are and whoop de whoop de whoop. Man, you could buy books and books and stuff on this. You know what I mean? Each crystal represents this, and the colors represent this, and blah 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 blah. And they have this energy and whoop de whoop de whoop. Man, yes, I've got those books. I've read a lot of those books. I've studied a lot of that material. But until you're able to personalize it, until you're able to each of those crystals have a personal meaning to you, you know what I mean? Again, it is what it is. The power lies within you. You know what I mean? The power lies within you. You know what I mean? This amethyst, they say that it helps with sobriety. You could walk around with amethyst all over your neck, over your arms, over your hands, in your pockets all day, every day, and still be a drunk and still be a drug addict. You know what I mean? The amethyst itself is not going to stop you from doing drugs. It's not going to stop you from getting high. It's not gonna stop you from doing stupid stuff like that. You know what I mean? So again, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. You know what I mean? And so often we're always looking for this power outside of us to save us. You know what I mean? We're always looking for something externally. You know what I mean? And that just blows me away. You know? And so even the Bible is like, man, save yourself from this untoward generation. Save yourself. Save yourself. You know what I mean? Stop looking at everything externally to save you. Lapis Lazuli. Man, I love this crystal. You know what I mean? I wear this all the time. You know what I mean? Um, I have a lot of lapis. Um, and this reminds me, man, of where we came from. And what I mean by that, man, this, when I see this, I see space. I see the heavens. You know what I mean? I see the galaxies. You know, and this is, there's little gold, but it's not gold. It's goldish color, but it's called pyrite. You know, um, and it represent stars. I don't know if you could see them in here, but man, I see these things and it's like, man, I think of stars when I see them. You know, and I love, again, I live out in nature. I love being out in nature. I love looking up at the mountains and just stargazing. You know what I mean? I love doing that. And so when I look at the pyrite on the lapis, it's a piece of lapis right here. This is a piece of raw lapis. You can see some of the gold in it. Um, there's another piece that I keep in my pocket from time to time. Um, Again, I'm not sure that the camera's picking up the blue and the deep blue and the gold flakes and speckles. This is a little pyramid that I have of it. And again, you can see the gold flakes a little better in this one. And again, the gold flakes are not gold; they're called pyrite. And so when I look at these things, man, it just reminds me of the stars, the heavens, the blue sky, the infinite sky, you know, and it just goes and goes and goes. There's no stopping to it, you know what I mean? And so when I look at the deep blue, that's what I see. That's what I imagine. That's what's going through my mind. That's the connection that I have. Man, that's home. Again, our souls didn't originate here on earth. Our souls came here to fulfill a mission, to do something. This is like training grounds. This is our schools. This is our universities to where we can learn and grow and repay our karmic debt. You know what I mean? And again, the karmic debt is all about growth and development. You know what I mean? Karma is not about just punishing you. Karma is to get you to understand the foolishness that you was about, this crazy stuff that we was doing, and how it impacted the lives of others, and so that we won't make those mistakes anymore. So it's all about growth and development. That's all karma is. It's just the law of growth and development, of understanding cause and that you're actually, whatever it is, mind switch right now, but that it helps you understand that, hey, whatever you do, you reap what you sow. You know what I mean? And so that's all karma is. And so we we make everything religious. You know what I mean? And we just hypersensitive. We just get everything all twisted and just and that's just the nature of the beast as far as being humans. You know what I mean? And so, man, but the lapis right here, man, this just reminds me of home. You know what I mean? My connection with home. You know, um, and again, I've always talked about, and I've talked a lot about how I didn't feel like I fit in here. I didn't feel like I fit in the family that I grew up in. I didn't feel like I fit in within the community that I grew up in. I didn't feel like I belonged or that I fit in the society in which I live in for the most part. You know what I mean? And so when I look at this lapis, man, it's like, man, that's my home. That's where I'm from. That's where we're all from, but most of us, we ain't on that level yet. You know what I mean? But that's home for me. That's who I'm going back to one day when my job here is done. You know, and so it helps me stay disconnected. Excuse me, disconnected from all the foolishness here. You know what I mean? In Buddhism, they talk a lot about non-attachment. Stop being so attached to this crazy stuff here. You know what I mean? We get so attached to our cars, to our houses, to our belongings, to our possessions. You know what I mean? And that's all we strive for is more and more and more and more and more and more. You know, I don't have enough until, I get more and more and more. It's all about more. And this is just reminds me, man, it's detach from all that crazy stuff. That's not what you're here for. You're not here to accumulate stupid stuff. You're not here to accumulate material stuff. You're here to grow and develop and to help others along the way. And if you do accumulate some stuff, okay, cool, but that's not your focus. That's not your priority. You know what I mean? And so this is that detachment from all of that. And yet at the same time, it's that connection with home. It's that connection with where I came from. And it's weird because so often we get so caught up into our nationalism. I'm American, I'm African American, I'm Native American, I'm Hispanic, all this, I'm Chinese, I'm European. Man, we get caught up in all this stupid crap that separates us. You know what I mean? That divides us. You know what I mean? And it's all stupid because the reality is your soul is not American. Your soul is not European. Your soul is not African. Your soul is not Asian. It's not Hispanic. It's not Native American. Your soul is not any of that stupid, ignorant crap that we use to divide ourselves. And so I see all these people, man, hyping all this stuff up and pushing black power and pushing all this other stupid stuff to me. And it's like, dude, how are you talking about you're enlightened? That's not enlightened. Your soul isn't black. Your soul isn't African. It's like, what are you talking about? Same thing with America. For some reason we have this misconception that America is the best place in the whole world to live, and that is the greatest place in the whole world to live, and that whoop de whoop de whoop, and we look down on everybody that's not American, that don't do things the American way, and whoop de whoop. Man, we're so ignorant when it comes to that. You know what I mean? And it's like, man. And so Lapis is just a reminder to me that, man, this is not where you from. Don't get caught up in all the stupid stuff that we use to divide ourselves. You know what I mean? You're here on a deeper mission. You're here on a job, on a purpose. You know what I mean? You're here to do some things. And to do some things is not about dividing you and everybody else. It's not about looking at superficial things to distract you. Stay focused. You know what I mean? And so the lapis, man, is powerful in the aspect of, man, once you truly understand it, once you truly understand the fact that, man, you ain't from here, once you truly understand the fact that you ain't really American, that's just some stupid label you give yourself, your physical being, you know what I mean? Once you truly understand the fact that you're a soul, you're a spirit, having a physical um, experience, man, you don't get caught up on this stupid stuff. You don't get caught up in religion. You don't get caught up in politics. You don't get caught up on all the stupid stuff that's going on. Because it's just a distraction. That's not why you're here. And so, again, lapis, man, it's a rich um, color as far as the blue, you know what I mean? And just the gold flakes in it, which are pyrite. Man, that's That's royalty. You know what I mean? Man, you're here on a deeper mission. You're here with a high calling. You know what I mean? And what I mean by high calling, man, you've been chosen to come here to do something. You've been chosen to be here at this specific time, this specific place for a reason. And so don't allow the stupid stuff of what's going on around you to distract you. Don't let the foolishness of, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm Republican, I'm Democrat, man, miss me with all of that. Don't get caught up in all those traps. Don't get caught up in the religion aspect of, I'm the tribe of Judah, I'm the tribe of Dan, I'm the tribe of... Man, miss me with all that stupid stuff. That's ignorant. That's ignorant. That's divisive. That's not who we really are. That's not who we really are. And again, to each their own, and I'm not here to tell you that you're not enlightened because that's what you study. I'm not here to tell you that you're not enlightened because that's what you believe. You know what I mean? I'm just here to say, hey, it's deeper than that. You're a spirit. And as a spirit, you're not black, you're not Jewish, you're not Hebrew, you're not any of that stupid, ignorant, divisive stuff. Again, to each their own. You know what I mean? But I've studied all that stuff. You know what I mean? Studied that stuff in depth. And I used to teach people that stuff, and it's like, that's not helping anybody. That's not helping anybody. That's just further dividing us. You know what I mean? That's just causing a bigger division amongst us. And the reality is, you're a spiritual being. You're a spiritual being. If you're a spiritual being, then act like a spiritual being. Think like a spiritual being. Live like a spiritual being. Teach people spiritual things. Stop teaching them this foolish stuff. We got a long way to go, family. We have a long way to go, and it's my hope and prayer is that we can start utilizing the things that have been put here on this planet to remind us of who we are. Again, I've said it before, these things, these crystals and gemstones, man, they're just a reminder to us. We're not supposed to worship this stuff at all. These things are just a reminder to us of who we are, why we're here. That's all they are. I've said this before. In the Brahmin religion, some of you are not going to listen to this because it's not Christian. And teach, again, I don't care. You know what I mean? But in the Brahmin religion, Brahmin summons all the gods, the lower gods. And he said, man, we got to put wisdom somewhere where man can't get it. You know? And so all the gods are talking, and there's like, okay, well, let's put it on the tallest mountains. He doesn't have the ability to get there. And the gods thought about it. He said, yeah, great idea. And he thought about it. And Brahman came back, nah, man in all his curiosity, he'll eventually climb the tallest mountains and he'll find it. And there's like, yeah. And another god said, let's put it in the deepest oceans, the deepest waters. Men don't have the capacity to go deep in the water and to find it. Everybody's, oh, great idea. Brahman thought, yeah, it's a good idea. But man, in this quest to conquer, will eventually create machines and things to take him to the depths of the oceans and depths of the water. And there he'll find it. So it's like, yeah. You're right. So let's put wisdom in outer space. Man don't have the capacity to get out here. So let's just put it up here in space. Everybody's like, yeah, great idea. Brahman thought about it. Man, in his hunger and thirst for power, will create machines and things to get into space, to rule space, to conquer space. And there he'll find it. He's like, yeah, you're right. So they sat around for a while thinking about it. Brahman said, I know what I'll do. I'll put wisdom inside of man, because man will never go internally. He'll always look externally. He'll always look on the outside. But he'll never take the time to go within. And the trip is, family, that's exactly what we do for the great majority of us. We're always looking for something else to save us. We're always looking for someone else to be our hero, someone else to come and bail us out, someone else to come enlighten us, someone else to come and teach us, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Man, you have all power. You have that knowledge and wisdom and understanding. You just haven't learned how to tap into it. And that's why I love meditating. That's why I love calming the mind. See, so many of us were controlled by our mind instead of us controlling our mind. You know what I mean? We allow the thoughts that come to us to dictate how we feel. We allow the thoughts that come to us to dictate what we think instead of us bringing our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions under control. We're controlled up here. And so our power, our spiritual being, our spirit, our soul is powerless because we've never learned how to use the power. We've never learned how to strengthen it, how to activate it, how to allow it to control our mind. And so Lapis reminds me of the power that we possess. Lapis reminds me of where we came from and who we really are. And so my hope and prayer is that you discover who you are. You stop playing the games. You stop being distracted. And that you understand your reason for being here. I love you guys. Happy healing.